Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and I have been literally playing just about nothing but Overwatch. As you've noticed, past couple days, been pretty much nothing but Overwatch videos. I'm hooked. I'm obsessed. I can't help but love it. And we're gonna go over today, just talking a little bit my first impressions, my opinions on the game, some of the things I like, some of the things I don't, and maybe that will help you decide whether or not this is the game for you, whether or not it's going to be worth your 40 bucks. That being said, of course, I feel like before anybody asks, though I feel like it goes without saying, I'm not done with WoW. I am by no means over WoW. I'm very, very excited for the next expansion, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that things are kind of lulling down in WoW at the end of WoD, except for when I can get arena games, which is few and far between. So I figured why not just enjoy a new game. I'm not normally a very big fan of shooters. Just flat out, never have been. Even when the whole Halo craze was going on back in the day, all the kids in my youth group, when I was involved in, would all get together, play Halo, and I'd goof around in it, but I wasn't like obsessed with it. I was definitely more into the fighting game scene on consoles, fighting games and RPGs. And the only other shooter that I really played that I enjoyed was Battlefield 3. Yeah, Battlefield 3. Me and my buddy played a lot on PS3, and it was good times. But in general, I never really got to TF2. Played it well enough to kind of get a feel for it, but wasn't my favorite thing. Never got into COD. Never really got into Counter-Strike except for very, very casually, all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely going to be from the standpoint and opinion of someone who never really was super into shooters. So I think that says something about the game, at least for me, the fact that it holds my attention. I've got about 20-25 hours into the game, not super high leveled, but getting a feel for how each hero works, getting a feel for which heroes I want to main, which ones I prefer to play, but of course trying to practice all of them. And that I think leads me to one of my favorite things about the game, and that is being able to swap heroes out throughout the match. I like the constant need to pay attention to what your opponent's team is running for the particular map and whatever the objective, whether it is capture the point, escort, all that kind of stuff. Lots of different game types. But I like that you're able to constantly switch out and try to counter comp the team. Rather than you only get one choice and you're stuck with that hero the entire game. I think that adds a lot of depth to the gameplay personally, and I think that's a lot of fun when I see, say for example, that the other team is running a couple snipers and a support or whatever. I'm like, sweet, I can pull out my boy Genji and I can go for it. And even in this particular case, you'll see here coming up real soon here on this clip, I'm perched up here on this bridge here as Bastion taking out the other team, and you're going to see the enemy Reaper come up behind me and just teleport in and get the kill on me. You'll see right here. And again, stuff like that, like I like that they can run those counter cops, and there's always ways to shut down whatever a hero the other team is running, no matter who you are. It's argued that some heroes are slightly overpowered and strong compared to others, but overall, the game is very much playable. Characters are not broken to the sense where they're utterly invincible, and that adds a lot of fun to it. Overall, the game is gorgeous. I think the graphics are beautiful for it. It feels like, again, something that like if Blizzard and Pixar got together and made a game. I just think it's quirky, it's fun, but it's just the right amounts of it. I like the different play styles that we have in Heroes. I feel like it's, Team Fortress 2-esque in the sense of, you got a couple different types. But not so much in the sense it also feels slightly MOBA-ish, where you've got the different skill sets and everybody's got their different ultimates. All that kind of stuff adds to a lot of fun. I like that everybody's ultimate feels very impactful for the most part. It feels like it's worth using. Some have a higher skill cap than others, which I think is cool. There are certain characters, of course, in the game that have a higher skill cap to play. Some are a little bit easier to get into and to enjoy and just get the job done, whereas others are seemingly simple but then deceptively, hard to master, and I like that. I'm learning that a lot about Genji. Genji is probably the most fun I've had playing in this game, but I'm learning very, very quickly that he has a pretty high skill cap in order to use effectively, and the challenge is fun. Some of the things that I like about the game, very, very much so, aside from, of course, the things mentioned before, I do like that it is a team emphasis game in the sense of no matter how good you are, you're not going to be able to carry your team entirely to victory. You definitely require the help from your entire team for a push to capture points. You're going to require help from your team to take out certain heroes, all that sort of thing, to where the way the game is structured is that it's made for team games. And I think that leads to one of my biggest criticisms of the game, and it just kind of comes with the territory with games like this, and this is my same criticism with Heroes of the Storm. Because it is such a huge team-focused game, it can get very, very difficult if you're solo queuing into a random matchmaking scenario. So it's definitely a lot more fun with friends, and you'll have a lot more success with friends, I think, especially if you're all using voice chat. And this goes whether you're playing on PC or on console, of course, as well. But I feel like that goes without saying anyways. Games tend to be a lot more fun with friends anyways. And of course, if you're all on the same page and you're communicating and you guys play well together, then you're going to have a lot more success than a team of random, players that are picking themselves up and just trying to make it happen. That being said, though, you're not completely up the creek without a paddle if you're random queuing by yourself as well. Games are very, very much winnable, and you're not completely, screwed. And so, that being said as well, I think I'll take the time just to also address one of my other criticisms of the game. And as silly as this might sound, it's not really a criticism as much as it's just like kind of my view on things. It's interesting knowing that this game came out of the remnants of what was to be Project Titan. It's been made pretty clear that, whatever was left of Project Titan, the things that they liked, that they thought were usable, these are the things that they brought over into Overwatch and made Overwatch playable. That being said, as fun as Overwatch is, I would have loved to have seen what this looked at as a fleshed out MMO. I think that would have been absolutely gorgeous and a ton of fun to check out. However, that doesn't make me love Overwatch any less. So I don't know if that's really a criticism as much as it's just like a little bit of perspective and knowing what I guess potentially could have been, but still being content with what we have. That being said, some things to look out for if you're considering purchasing this game and you have not yet to. Do consider that this is literally all the game is. There's no single player mode, there's no adventure mode, there's nothing like that. There's no ranked play or anything yet. It's literally just multiplayer. Like, you can play with friends against AI, you can play with yourself as AI. There's a couple other game modes that are stuff like that, but overall it's literally just queue into matches and play. Each match lasts roughly 7 to 15 minutes, depending on how bad that you spank the other team. As you can see, this one will be sitting at about 10 minutes, give or take. So matches are relatively quick, but I know for a lot of people that doesn't necessarily hold their attention well. Some people just like having more options of game style, things like that. They like different types of gameplay. And I feel like down the road, as Blizzard adds DLC to the game with more heroes, with more map types, more game types, things like that, I can guarantee you we'll see different ways to play. But as of right now, I could see how to some people the $40 price point might be a bit much for what is simply a multiplayer shooter. And that to me it's worth it, and I'm having a blast with this, so it is definitely worth it. But I could see how, again, that would be something that's a little more dicey for some people. So keep that in mind if you have yet to purchase the game, and of course you are looking to do so. That all, I'm trying to think what else would be fun to bring up as far as this. I'm definitely going to be doing a video coming up soon as far as kind of some helpful tips and tricks for brand new players that you might want to keep an eye out for, things that have really helped me as well. So I'll probably be doing that out very, very soon. We'll probably see that for Monday's video, if I'm going to be completely honest, just because I wanted to keep taking advantage of the Overwatch and all the hype that is behind it and the fact that I'm having so much fun with it. So it would be silly not to make videos. I mean, if you're having a ton of fun playing a game and you make videos, it just seems kind of counterintuitive to not make videos about it, I suppose. I don't know, just my 2 cents. I like some of the things I do like about Overwatch is that I like the rating system at the end of the game. I like the play of the game at the end. I think it's really cool. It's an incentive to keep playing and play hard no matter how bad you think you're doing. To definitely push the envelope and play a little bit aggressive to try to be playing better. It gives you an incentive, at least for me personally, to pay attention to what I'm doing wrong, so that I can get better, not just so we can win games, but it's kind of cool to potentially get the play of the game and you can show off a little bit because everybody's going to see it at the end. Being able to vote for who the top player was based on performance, damage done, damage absorbed, healing, all that kind of stuff like that is really cool. There's been a couple times in a couple matches that I've played where I've even upvoted someone from the opposite team simply because they played so well, and it was really cool to watch them play. I learn a lot sometimes just by watching the kill cams of people that have killed me. I pick up on tips and tricks and things like that. So Overall, I feel like I've never really felt super negative or down on myself for losing an Overwatch game. Part of that is because I know I'm new, so I'm still learning, so I'm never really too hard on myself when I'm learning something anyways. I'm definitely a lot harder on myself playing WoW because I've been playing long enough that there's certain things I should just know when I make dumb mistakes. It's like, why would you do that? You know better. But with games like Overwatch, even like when I don't do as well, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, I'm still slightly rewarded, which I think is really cool. It just encourages you to kind of pay attention to what's going on. I like the emphasis on team stuff. So to me, that's really, really cool. The overall just mentality of it. I just think that Blizzard is going in the direction with team games, again, from Heroes of the Storm, now Overwatch and things like that, that I think is just really, really cool. And overall, I think, too, with WoW potentially going in that direction, well, with some of the new game types and stuff and models of play that they have, I think it's just going to be really, really rewarding to play with friends and, of course, other people as you make friends going through the game as well. That being said, I really can't think of anything else I really wanted to say as far as first impressions of the game. Lots of fun. Switching heroes is a ton of fun. Overall, graphics are great. Everything seems honestly fairly balanced as far as who counters who and who gets away with certain things like that. I've never really come into contact with any particular hero that I think is so broken that it needs to be repaired immediately, to be completely honest. I just have a lot of fun with it. So definitely going to be playing the game. Hopefully going to be bringing you guys some better videos and some better play soon, especially as I keep playing with friends. All that being said, hopefully we'll run into each other sometime in game soon. But let me know what you guys think. Are you playing Overwatch? Do you love it? Are you looking forward to buying it? All that kind of stuff. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, guys. It would be greatly appreciated. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.